What's up guys, this is Ice Cold StarCraft, bringing you a TGN video. So if you're watching this on my channel, this is basically going to TGN idle for my application to join TGN, and you should probably know what this is because I've talked about it a lot. If not, you should check it out. It's basically a channel where they have a bunch of other kind of shows about different games, so it's pretty cool. Go check it out. Anyhow, this is StarCraft 2, a Terran versus Zerg. And we have two very well-known players actually this time. As the red Terran at the top left, we have LiquidTLO. Team Liquid is probably the most well-known clan on StarCraft, I think. I could be wrong, but just seems the biggest in my opinion. And they have a really cool site, teamliquid.net, where there's a whole bunch of stuff. Like there are links to live streams from some of the best players around the world, and they have let's see, they have a whole bunch of replays on there, they have forums, they have so much stuff, so it's a really cool site. You can check that out as well. And over here at the bottom right, as the pink Zerg, is aTnDelphi. I don't really remember ATN before, don't remember seeing that, but I do know Delphi. Seen him play before multiple times. I'm not an expert on either of these players though. I just know that TLO is a very well known player, extremely well known. Delphi not as much, but still a very well known player. Of course you wouldn't know this if you're just a starter or a beginner to StarCraft, and I'm not saying I'm an expert or anything, far from. But now back to the game here. I just want to say that the Zerg player has gone for, it looks like a 16 hatch, and possibly going to follow that up with a 15 pool, which is how Spanichiwa starts his build. Yeah, here's the pool going down at 15 supply, but much differently to Spanichiwa, there's an extractor going up right away, whereas Spanichiwa likes to get his gas around 40 supply, which is really late in the game, but the reason for that is you can get a lot more minerals, so the drones that would be mining gas aren't mining gas, and they're getting more minerals instead, so the early expansion isn't as mineral intensive for you, and you can get also a lot of tech earlier on. So now over here, of course, the command center morphing as soon as the barracks was finished. Meanwhile, a factory is going up in a supply depot just to finish that wall off over here. Not sure if this space here, if a unit can actually walk through here. A supply depot may be coming down here as well. I'm not exactly sure if you can even go through that space, but the Terran player, he does have a refinery with nothing on it. He just did get enough for something. It looks like he may be going for a pretty early Hellion harass. He has set the rally point already to right down here, so we may be seeing some pretty early aggression from the Terran player. The Zerg player is going for Spinecrawler. He's sending two Zerglings, well, one actually, just across the map to scout as per usual. Nothing really different there. Of course, Zerg players like to have some map control early on with a couple Zerglings, and he is going for that metabolic boost, which is of course the reason for that early extractor, and then pulling the drones off afterwards, after he got the 100 gas needed for that. So nothing too out of the ordinary here for the Zerg player, just moving the Spinecrawler closer to the ramp. And if he does continue to go only for Zerglings, he could be in some trouble just because of those Hellions. He has one more queen on the way just at this hatchery, which will leave him with two, which he may be able to defend with, but Zerglings not very good against Hellions at all, with their massive AoE, very good against light units, especially these Zerglings here and the drones, but they don't really want to run past that Spinecrawler just yet. I don't think he knows what the Zerg player may have waiting down here, if there's another Spinecrawler or what. So the Terran player here just waiting outside. He's not really in any trouble at all. He kind of has things under control. He's going for Reapers, looks like, getting that Nitro pack. So we should see a lot of harassing, both with the Hellions as well as with the Reapers, which Reapers may come around the back here and try to do some damage to those drones. Meanwhile, the Terran player just kind of waiting for that until he can do that harassing. The Zerg player may be looking to expand pretty soon. I don't see any large number of army units. He may be going for some tech pretty soon. Not exactly sure, just sending a Zergling across the map. There is a command center just sitting down there now, so the Terran has gone for a relatively early expansion. Usually Terran players do not expand that early. Transferring a bunch of SCVs down here, of course when you're going for an expansion you always want to get some extra miners over here and then transfer them back down to your expansion right away. 3 Reapers are moving across the map now. 1 Hellion is coming to join the 3 over here. The Zerg player, I would say with another spine crawler just a bit closer to the hat tree, he would be okay. He's going for banelings and he has a lair almost finished. I don't know if he'll be okay here. Personally, I like to go for 3 queens, not all the time, but just kind of generally I think 3 queens is pretty good. You know, against Protoss you're not so liable to that really early Void Ray Phoenix push, or for the Terran exactly this. And also, you know, queens are the Zerg's only real anti-air early on in the game. But we'll see what is happening here. There are a couple banelings morphing. The Terran player has dropped the scan, so he knows exactly what is going on. Looks like he's going to go and take away the spine crawler right away. He does have a lot of Reapers. He is going to be attacking those banelings, trying to finish them before they morph. There are a couple Zerglings where the Hellions are doing just too much damage to them, and one baneling here is going to get kited before it has a chance to do anything. And a bit of a micro slip there, letting the Queen follow those forces instead of pulling back. Dropping another scan just to make sure nothing is there. 2 banelings are coming. They are both going to get kited, however, with that really enhanced Reaper speed as well as those very fast Hellions. So this could be extremely serious for the Zerg player here. He does have a Spire on the way, which has now been scouted, and it looks like the Hellion is finally going to get picked off. So that is the end of the harass there, but at what cost for the Zerg player? His drone count looks like he really wants to expand. I'm not sure if he wants to risk that though. He may just want to get army units, and massing Zerglings is not the best thing. He does have a Spire, it is almost finished, so he may be going for some kind of Ling Muta, Baneling Muta build, which is actually not that uncommon. Used against Terran, not a lot, but it is used against Terran, and it is pretty nice, unless they are going for Vikings and not Marines. Baneling's pretty good against Marines, although Idra himself has said that Marines counter Banelings, because if you have the stim pack you can just kite them very easily. Reaper's just trying to do some harassing over here, pretty annoying for the Zerg player, not being able to get anything really done to those Reapers. Looks like he's finally gonna get at least one of them now, barely getting away with 5 HP. Now the Terran player, he does have 3 barracks over here with a nice little wall off. He does have a starport as well with a reactor, so he is going to be going for a lot of medevacs and a lot of banelings. So if the Zerg player keeps up those banelings, he could do some nice damage. With the Mutalisks, he should be able to harass there. I haven't seen an engineering bay. I don't think one has gone up, so there won't be any missile turrets for a while. The Zerg player now moving in with a little flock of Mutalisk here. Looks like he's actually not going to go for the mineral line, but rather the tech. And he just really wants to finish that. It is going to burn up just before that SCV was able to repair it. So there is a Thor still building, and it looks like the Zerg player may actually not be going for the mineral line anytime soon. May just be wanting to get down that tech so that he will have the tech advantage. He's going for a 3rd expansion now. I think it's good timing for an expansion because he's going to be moving out pretty soon. It looks like he has a bunch of banelings morphing. He has tech upgrades coming up for the flying units pretty soon, so by the time that expansion is running properly he should be able to do some damage, even if it's just some harassing. Although the Terran player is very careful, he does have Marines over here. Does not want there to be any economic damage on the mineral line. Mutalisks are coming in again, and there is a Thor, so he looks like he's going to want to magic box that Thor and kill it. If he ran away now, it would be a complete waste of that attempt, and I don't think any Mutalisks died. The Thor easily going to be repaired, and actually it looks like... Go down. This player has the collector's edition of the game, I think. This is that special Thor, which looks really nice. Looks like one of those Gundams you saw. Anyhow, how do you go? There we go. The Terran player now looks like he is going to be moving out as well. Now, a lot of times what you'll see when a Zerg player is gone for Mutalisks is that a Terran will get a Thor and not use it offensively, but just leave it in his base, simply to defend against Mutalisk, and then he can move the rest of his army out and attack the base. So, the Terran player does have 2 Thors now. It looks like he... Actually, not sure. He may leave one behind. That is not uncommon at all. Maybe bringing out both of them though. May just want to really do some damage right now. And it looks like he just killed a Zergling or something over there. Meanwhile, what is the Zerg player doing? He has a couple Mutalisks. He is just moving them around the map. He has a couple Zerglings. I hope he hasn't forgotten about these. The Terran player is moving out with a pretty big army. Those Thors look really menacing. And Mutalisks not very good against Thors at all. They can magic box them, but when there are 2 of them, it's really difficult. And you need a lot of Zerglings to do that, but when there's so many Marines, it's kind of difficult. There is a barracks moving across the map. It looks like a scouting barracks. It is going to get picked off without scouting anything, it looks like. Now, there may be a massive engagement coming over here. There are Banelings morphing. 2 of them getting taken out. It looks like the Zerg player wants to commit now. The Banelings doing a pretty good amount of damage, but the Marines just running away. Not wanting to get caught by those Banelings, and you don't want to waste Banelings on Thors at all. Really want to get those into the Marine line. That Thor almost dead. Those Mutalisks could have sacrificed himself to kill it. Maybe. Marines doing so much damage with that stim pack. Over here, it looks like this could be GG for the Zerg player. A very nice push here by the Terran, using some not really too complicated micro, but some good micro nonetheless, making sure the Marines did not go down to the Banelings. And it definitely looks like this expansion is going to go down for sure, and looks like the Zerg player is going to have to GG. I don't think he can win. It looks like this is his last desperate attempt with a bunch of Banelings. He could do some damage to those Marines, but they could easily kite him while the Thors soak up the damage. There's a Thor in the back with no life at all. And here comes the last wave of Banelings, trying to send them right into the middle of the Marines. And not doing much, actually. Medevac just picking up that Thor. A really good micro there. Picking up that Thor when the Zerglings and Banelings came in, just keeping it alive. And looks like this Thor is fine, not gonna go down. There was the GG from Delphi, and GG, well played. So this was actually a pretty good game. I think the Zerg player did suffer a lot of economic damage, especially because it was so early on in the game, back when the Terran player pushed in and really just killed a bunch of drones over here. And then afterwards he just built up his army with a pretty early expansion, and he was able to have that pretty early expansion just because of that early economic damage, and it paid off for him later. This Thor still hasn't died yet, so pretty good game by both players. I think the Zerg player was just at a little bit of disadvantage because he couldn't harass with those Thors in the base and all those Marines. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, this was a video for TGN Idol. If you're watching this on my channel, go check it out. Thanks for watching, guys.